All right, y'all, back to where we go. A fantastic, a fun trading day comes to an end. I told you all last night, those four ranges, they give us the exact roadmap we need to make money today. Hope you guys made a bunch of money out there as well. Now we have, the biggest news of the month is coming out tomorrow, that CPI report tomorrow. And I'll tell you, there's two clues on these charts right now that are telling me that we might have a nice big bull trap around that number tomorrow morning. We'll talk about why I say that, but more importantly though, I think if we play our cards right, we can sell that bull trap, buy the dip later on in the morning, and make a killing to finish up what has really been a very profitable week for us here in the SOT trade room. So charts are ready. Enough of the intro. I'm going to lay out the entire roadmap tonight, entries, exits. Let's dive right in and make some more cash on what should be a fantastic Friday session. S&P SPY ready to go tonight. Nasdaq triple Qs are ready. I've got 5 clues on these charts telling me where I think the money is made tomorrow. The first clue is right here on the hourly time frame. I like to use the hourly chart as a directional filter. It's pretty easy to see right now. The buyers are in full control here on both the S&P and the Nasdaq. I will also say too, you'll notice right away here, there's a range right there on the S&P, range right there on the Nasdaq. If you watch my videos a lot, you know we love breakout pullbacks off of those ranges. So both the S&P and the Nasdaq, these would be some great areas to buy some dips. 51.75 there on the S&P, 128 even there on the Nasdaq. It might not be tomorrow, but mark my word, tomorrow, next Monday, at some point though, those levels will be keys for us here in the coming days here. So most important thing, we know we're bullish overall. I've got my eyes on those breakout pullback zones on the hourly time frame. That's one big clue here for tomorrow. Second clue is a schedule for tomorrow. There's 3 things on my mind tomorrow. First things first is that CPI report at 8:30 Eastern time. We're going to get some volatility because obviously we haven't seen any data for weeks now with that government shutdown. But the most important thing I'm going to think about is there's this old saying in the trading business that goes something like, buy the rumor, sell the news, right? Buy the rumor, sell the news. Well, we get a big news event coming out tomorrow. And when you combine that CPI report, a big news report, with one more clue we see on the tick charts, you're going to see why I think there's some money to make on some bull traps, and we might be able to time our entries properly, trade both sides of the market. So that's one big thing for tomorrow in the pre-market tomorrow. Second thing in my mind tomorrow is that consumer sentiment number at 10 o'clock Eastern time. That is the University of Michigan sentiment report. That is a third-party report. It's not affected by the government shutdown right now. We almost always get good trades around that 10 o'clock number on that consumer report out of Michigan tomorrow morning. So definitely keep that on your radar for tomorrow. And the final thing, we're still looking for more updates regarding the U.S. and China trade talks. Trump said by November 1st, that deadline is. So we've got a week left here to get some sort of deal put together. That is obviously a wild card for tomorrow, but it's definitely something I'm watching on the news headlines for tomorrow as well. So CPI report, 8:30 Eastern time, consumer sentiment at 10 o'clock. And again, will Trump be tweeting about something going on between the U.S. and China? Time will tell on that. Back to our charts though now. The money is made on our charts. We know direction. We know news for tomorrow. I got 3 more clues here on these tick charts. Tick charts are based on volume. They make entry timing a lot easier. We don't use time charts for entries. Tick charts are where it's at. All the time frames there, upper left-hand corner. And in case you're watching for the first time right now, that is the 21 EMA. It is the only indicator we need to make repeatable profits each week. There's 3 more clues here on this chart. What do you see right now? We pop up and we're grinding, going higher. Whenever we have a buy the rumor, sell the news environment, prices love to grind and float higher. Combine that with these all-time highs up there. This is the recipe for a buy the rumor, sell the news here. That's definitely a big clue here on these charts right now. One of my favorite clues is that range right there. One of 2 things will happen. Either we're going to break out and pull back off that range. We'll talk about that a bit later on in this video. Or we're going to rotate off the high of that range, right? Ranges love to rotate. Love that area off that rotation. There was something very similar on the Nasdaq. We'll grab that chart a bit later on this video. And the final clue we see right now is the size of this move. We've made a pretty big move higher without any real significant correction. Now, big moves. If you're a student of mine, you know this already, but big moves have a very specific way about them. In fact, big moves tell us there's two types of strategies, two types of setups we use anytime we see a big move higher in an overall bull market. Let's cover the first one right now on the S&P. I'm going to cover a slightly more advanced strategy later on the Nasdaq. If you like making money, you definitely want to make sure you watch both of these charts right now because I will tie them all together towards the end of this video. So let's start first right now with the first of two strategies. I would love to buy a very nice deep pullback. My favorite trade for tomorrow is a nice deep two-legged pullback, just deep enough to complete this pendulum swing. It will feel very bearish. It'll feel very much like reversal. That's exactly what I want because as it runs lower, I'm looking for a bear trap down here. We'll trap the bears chasing after it. Bears once, bears twice. Once those bears try twice, now I know where their stops are. Now I know where their pain is. I can buy right into those stop losses. A two-legged pullback into a two-tried bear trap like I teach in the free video series. And then don't forget, where's the market want to go? It wants to go all the way back up and retest that high. So once I get that bear trap squeezing, I'm going to look for an add-on trade. Now, add-on trades are the easiest way to make a lot more money in trading. First, separation off that moving average. Second, higher high in price. Third, get in right below that low. In our trade room, we call these bear traps, we call them add-ons, and we're trying to go back up and retest the high. Now, I would also not complain at all if we saw a two-legged pullback, a bear trap down here. And remember, oftentimes these deep two-legged pullbacks, there's so much strength to them. We get that bear trap winner, but I always take some profit off around that prior high, the high of that kind of first leg going lower. Oftentimes, we see another leg running lower. Remember, bull market overall on the hourly. This will feel like a reversal. It's not a reversal. It's another bite at this bear trap apple. Once I get back to retest that low, I'm not going to pick a bottom on this because it might keep going a bit lower there. But once it pulls back, this is a horrible spot to be selling, not an overall bull market. So trap those bears in. I like to use that two-try bear trap pattern I teach in the free video course. Trap those bears in. And again, if there's one thing you learn here, after that bear trap, keep your eyes on that separation, get that higher high in price, and we'll take, what I always do is, I'll take half off at the first target and put that half right back on that add-on. Final target now goes back up and retest that high. Now, I want to talk about that second strategy on the Nasdaq. Before we do that though, let's slow down for 2 seconds because I know most folks watching right now, you guys know these patterns, you're making bank with these already. But if you're watching for the first time right now tonight, this might be a brand new strategy. What are bear traps? What are add-ons? How do we trade this retest trade in our trade room? Guys, I cover all of this in so much more detail in my free video course. So what I'll do is I'll put a link up top here for you. Upper right-hand corner. Guys, the markets are way too good right now not be banking profits. So hit that link that popped up there. Take that free trading course because the strategy you'll learn in that short video series will teach you a simple trick we use in our members trade room each day that literally tells me exactly where the winning trades are going to be each day. More importantly though, let's face it, we make our money by timing good entries. So I'm going to teach you my 4 favorite entry setups, traps, add-ons, a whole lot more that we can time better entries, get your confidence back in your trading. Guys, if you're missing the best moves right now, if you've lost your confidence in your current strategy, What are you waiting for right now? Hit that link that popped up there. You're going to love that free trading course. Everyone loves all the trade examples I include on the website in that short video series. The best part is it's completely free for you. Also be aware too, guys, I'm going to put all the important links below tonight's video. Start first with that free video course. Most folks start making money all on their own, all from that free video class. Start there first. You're going to love the trade examples I include on the website. And don't forget too, we trade this stuff together every morning, 8 o'clock Eastern time. I'll put membership information, trade room links below the video tonight, description of the video. And by the way too, if you're on Twitter or X, I post a ton of charts and videos and updates in between these YouTube videos on the X platform. I'll put my handle below. Give me a follow. You're gonna love that feed during the day here in between these YouTube videos. All right, so now you know where to go if you're tuning in for the first time right now, because I realize some of this can be a bit more advanced, but once you see that free video class, it'll all start making a lot more sense. Okay. I mentioned earlier, there are two types of strategies after a big move like this. We're covering the first one right now. Do not click off this video. I'm going to cover the second one later on this Nasdaq. But here's one more question though. I love the idea of a really nice deep pullback. What if we don't get a bear trap down there? We may not. There may be so many buyers buying that dip down there. It may run lower and just whoop and run right back up again. We see these V-bottom trades a lot in our trade room. Very simple. If we V-bottom and bounce hard off of that low, my goal now is to make a small adjustment. When markets V-bottom like this, very simple, don't chase after it. We want to buy low, not buy high. Mark the highs of that grinding move, bring it down off that low, and repeat after me. First test is the best test. My goal on these is to use either a bear trap or a pullback combination, a strength trade, a technical trap. Again, if this is new terminology for you, you'll learn that inside that free video course. But the most important thing though is I don't want to miss that first touch off the low of that channel. And the best ones are always going to be right below some prior swing. So again, I love the idea of a big move down, a bear trap down here. I don't want to chase after it if it V-bottoms. A bit of discipline here, a bit of patience will pay off really well. Find that new V-bottom channel and nail that first test, bear trap. And again, the target is always going back up to retest that high. Now, here's the question. What if we don't get that deep two-legged pullback? What if all we get is a shallow pullback? Well, what's the problem? The problem is that we know after a big move like this, buyers want to buy low. We know after a big move like this, it's going to want to make that second leg going lower. So if all I get is a one-legged pullback, we now make a small adjustment to basically offset the risk-reward ratio. It's a technical bear trap. Very simple, but very different than the initial trade we mentioned earlier. A technical bear trap is one try, two try, and I got to get in underneath that low. The reason why is because I do not want to buy above that high, because now my risk and reward is way off balance, right? That's not going to be a trade I can make money consistently with. If I see a deep pullback, a two-legged pullback, see now a bear trap, a two-try bear trap, now my risk and reward ratio is great, right? That is a trade I can make money with. That's a trade everyone wants. It's a reliable, consistently profitable trade. If all I see is a one-legged pullback, I got to offset that risk reward ratio. I don't want to buy above this high. I want to buy below a low. That way now my risk and my reward now is back to a small risk and a larger amount of reward. Very important you understand that very small but important detail. That small detail will keep you out of so much trouble. Believe me on that. You'll see how well that works in our trade room tomorrow morning. So shallow pullbacks, one-legged pullback needs to be a technical bear trap like I teach in the free video course. Now, I'm sure you're wondering, big question, how would I sell? Right? How would I sell during that pullback? I love the idea of a bull trap. I love the idea of running up, news comes out, strong shot down. How would I sell something like this? there's one pattern we always look for around these highs. It's a crown reversal pattern. Now, crown reversals, very simple. As we go higher, remember, we're a bullish market overall. I need to trap in buyers who are chasing this thing higher. This is not a good place to be a buyer up here. I need to trap in buyers and use their stop losses to basically fuel this move going lower. Now, the key to this is this needs to be really obvious, okay? There's no benefit being the only person that sees this pattern. We need a lot of sellers to take this trade along with us. A crown reversal pattern, it is two separate tries. One try, two try. Remember, think about lower low. Why lower low? Because buyers want to buy low. Once, go lower. Twice. What happens on these crown reversal patterns is it will slowly work its way higher, and then all of a sudden, it'll be bam. You'll see a big, fat, red candle closing firmly below the moving average. I will always take my one-to-one target on these types of reversals because you're going against the overall trend on the hourly time frame. Two things. One, it's a half-size trade, right? I don't take full-size positions going against the direction on the hourly time frame, right? They're not as reliable as buying the dips right now, okay? So half-size trade. Second thing is I am very quick to get rid of risk on these, right? I'm very quick. I will give a deep pullback. I'll give that trade plenty of time to perform, right? But on a reversal like this, it needs to react. It needs to perform right away. As soon as I start seeing it go towards that first target, the one-to-one target, stop comes down, get rid of that risk, and hopefully it keeps on running lower. So smaller size, it needs to be obvious, right? Make sure these two tries are really obvious. The other variation of a crown reversal pattern is basically a V-top pattern. So for example, we oftentimes see go up, it'll kick back down and begin to grind and run lower. These are a bit easier on the emotions because now momentum is turning over. The hard part though is don't chase after it. The most important thing when I'm trying to short a bull market is I must be getting in above a prior swing. It must be above prior swing. I do not want to be selling it as it runs lower. Why? Because oftentimes as it runs lower, it's just you're walking right into buyers here and they're going to buy it right back up again, right? I need to be in the green on that trade, getting risk off that trade before it gets below that low. So quick on the first exit, quick move stop down, and again, it needs to be obvious. Smaller size going against. Crown reversals, selling above that high. All right, now you know one strategy for tomorrow. Let's talk about second strategy now over on the Nasdaq. Nasdaq's getting lonely over here right now. Let's go to the Nasdaq here. On the Nasdaq, first things first, hourly time frame first. It's for direction, right? We know we're bullish overall. And again, like I said earlier, keep your eyes on that 25, 128 area. It may not be tomorrow. It might not be until Monday or Tuesday next week, but it's almost a guarantee. It is almost a guarantee. Ranges, when they break out, they pretty much always come back to those areas. All we don't know is when, right? That's all we don't know is when. It's almost a guarantee that 128 level should be on the radar here going forward. We're bullish. We're watching that breakout pullback zone. Let's now drill down to some tick charts here right now. And we have almost the same environment we have here on the Nasdaq. First things first, we're grinding higher. Guys, anytime markets grind up like this before a major news event, it reeks of a buy the rumor, sell the news here. The all-time highs are right above us. They're expecting that CPI report to print just above 3.0 tomorrow morning. 3.0 is the wrong direction, right? We don't want it going higher, 3.0. We want it down in the middle to low 2% year over year right now. So again, that grinding movement right now, it tips me off here. This feels like a buy the rumor, sell the news. I could easily be wrong. My favorite part about this right now is that range right there. Again, now that range if we run up. If I'm wrong about this and we don't see a breakout, if we don't see a sell-off off that news report, if it really jumps, remember, this is the breakout pullback you want, right? That range, if it really jumps and we don't get the bull trap, guys, I have no crystal ball, right? But I use what I have in front of me to make assumptions for the following day. I could be wrong about this, but it could rip higher here, two-legged pullback, and you get that bear trap off the top of that range. The same bear traps I mentioned earlier can be applied right there as well. That's either one scenario or it's going to rip higher here, run up and crash back down again. And again, think about that rotation, right? This is a dream scenario for us, for the buyers tomorrow, right? That big rotation all the way back down again. And remember, this will feel like a reversal. It's not a full reversal. We're too bullish right now on the hourly time frame, and that's all that is a range rotation. Keep that in mind for tomorrow. And again, that channel you see marking up here right now, that channel will be a great spot to buy that dip. Okay, I mentioned earlier, there are two strategies. That second strategy is a range up here. If we're lucky tomorrow, we'll get a sideways range up here. Sideways ranges are very common after a big move in one direction. So ranges love to rotate, right? They love to rotate. So once I see a range up here, all I'm going to do is look left, find previous areas of support, like a previous range down below me, like a channel right down below me. I want to find those key areas of support down below us. Then all we do is wait for a breakout going lower. Remember, ranges love to rotate down, up with symmetry. If you watch my videos every night, you know how these ranges work. They are spooky how well they work, right? So symmetry, very important on range rotations. So we find a range tomorrow. It may not be this range right here. It might be up here, but higher here. I don't know where it'll be. But if we do see a range though, now my focus now is find support below it, wait for a breakout below it, and that same bear trap into add-on. 2 tries for a bear trap, get those stops to get triggered, squeeze those stops. And on this one, we know where this market's trying to go, right? It's going to want to what? Rotate, right? So same bear trap, same separation with that add-on, but now the amount below, the amount above. This is why I say oftentimes in these videos, this is a more advanced strategy, but I'll tell you, ranges are so much easier to make a lot more money because now we know exactly now where that market wants to go. Bear trap, add on, leave that runner, right? Leave that runner. Now, one thing you gotta remember is that knife cuts both ways. This is where things get fun. They can also get tricky sometimes too. Range bound market. Again, second scenario for tomorrow. Be aware, we may pop up. Right? Get one of those crown reversal patterns off of that high. Remember, make it separate, make it obvious, half size trade, quick exit, get rid of that risk, right? Now, you mentioned earlier, scary, right? This will feel like a reversal, right? That voice in your head will say, are you sure about this? I am definitely sure this is a range rotation. It's not a full-blown reversal. If we're lucky, that big channel will be down there as well. I mean, come on, right? Come on, right? Just give me the money. Just put a bag of cash on my lap for crying out loud, right? That is an easy money trade right there. Again, though, we're not going to pick a bottom on that. I'm going to wait for that price to roll over, let it drop a little bit, and then as it begins to pull back, 1 try, 2 try, bear trap, add on, same stuff, right? Same stuff over and over again. A lot of folks tell me, to change things up a little bit. Why would I change things up when these things work so well over and over and over again? If this is boring to you, you're in the wrong business. You're in the wrong business. It's boring sometimes, but you're right. Printing money gets boring after you do it for a while over and over again. Failure or 2-try bear trap into add-on as it runs higher back and forth. So be aware of that range. It may pop up, give us that bull trap, that crown reversal pattern off the high, the amount above, the amount below, and do not let that run lower fool you, right? Trap those bears in, squeeze those stops, add to your runner, and keep on rolling. All right, guys. The only other variation of this right now would be if we saw something like this. Again, range market, we may get a really strong run going lower. We may roll lower, may get that bear trap down here. Bears once, bears twice, and pop up right back into that range. This is why, again, I go for a quick first target, get rid of that risk. Now, if it's one thing you learned over the last couple of days here, what happens after range breakouts? They love to make measured moves. So what happens oftentimes is we'll see a breakout leg, a measured move leg, and that creates the key level of support down there. It is another one of those retest trades. So watch for this. If it really breaks out of that trading range strong, it'll be breakout leg, measured leg, like we see over here, right? There's your range. There's your breakout leg. There's your measuring leg. It's no surprise that is when they finish off the move going higher there today, right? So watch those measured moves below these ranges, breakout leg, measured leg. And again, oftentimes these retest trades, right? They go down, they retest that low. These retest trades are oftentimes our biggest winners in our trade room. Once we take out that measured move, bear trap, add on, and whoop, right back up into that range overhead. Right, guys? That is the game plan for tomorrow. Now we'll see, will that CPI report, will it surprise us tomorrow and be in the low twos? Will it tick higher in the threes? We know we're expecting some volatility around that. And don't forget that 10 o'clock sentiment report, 10 o'clock consumer sentiment. We always seem to find some good trades around that time of the day on a Friday morning. All right, guys, that's the game plan for tomorrow. Now, speaking of tomorrow, the easiest place to start making money in these markets, come out, learn and trade along every morning with us at the opening bell. I'll put all the important links you need to learn the roadmap down below tonight's video in the description of the video. Start first on that free video course. You're going to love all those trade examples. Then come join me in the trade room, 8 o'clock Eastern time, and we'll do it together. In the meantime, guys, hope you learned a bunch tonight. Hope you earn a steak dinner tomorrow morning. Kick some butt tomorrow. Be well out there. Be nice to the will ya. And you better be here next time. Adios, amigos. Bye for now.